Here's a question that keeps a lot of people up at night. Do I have enough to actually retire? And the frustrating thing, nobody gives you a straight answer. Financial advisors say it depends. Articles say consult a professional. And you're left doing math on a napkin at 11 p.m., wondering if you're going to run out of money before you run out of life. So today we're cutting through all of that. We're going to take 4 very real retirement nest eggs, $250,000, $500,000, $750,000, and $1 million. And we're going to stress test every single one. No fluff, no generic advice, just real numbers, real scenarios, and real talk about what your money will actually do for you as a single retiree. And stick around, because the 250K scenario is going to surprise you, and not necessarily in the way you think. Let's get into it. Before we run the numbers, we need to set the table. We're talking about a single person retiring at 65. Why single? Because dual income households have a completely different math problem. Single retirees are one of the most underserved groups in retirement planning, and statistically, one of the most financially vulnerable. Here are our baseline assumptions. The 4% rule, a widely accepted guideline that says you can withdraw 4% of your portfolio without running out of money over a 30-year retirement. Social Security will factor in an average benefit of around $1,800 a month, which is close to the 2024 national average for a single retiree. Inflation will assume 3% annually because your dollar today won't buy the same groceries in 10 years. Investment returns, a moderate portfolio returning around 6 to 7% annually. One more thing, we're not talking about a lavish retirement. We're talking about a real one. Rent or mortgage, groceries, healthcare, maybe a vacation once in a while. This is about dignity, not luxury. Okay, let's run the numbers. All right, $250,000. A lot of Americans will retire with around this amount, or less, so this matters. Using the 4% rule, $250,000 generates $10,000 per year in portfolio withdrawals. That's about $833 a month. Now here's where Social Security changes everything. Add your $1,800 a month in Social Security, and suddenly you're looking at $2,633 a month, or just over $31,500 a year. Is that enough? It depends where you live and how lean you run your budget. In a low cost of living area, rural Midwest, parts of the South, smaller towns, you can absolutely make this work. Rent or a paid-off home, modest lifestyle, no major debt. It's tight, but it's livable. The danger zone here is healthcare. A single unexpected medical event can devastate a $250,000 portfolio. This is the scenario where working even part-time for 2 to 3 more years or relocating to a lower cost area makes a massive difference. The verdict on $250K? Survivable, but fragile. You need Social Security to do a lot of heavy lifting, and you have almost no margin for error. Now, moving on to $500,000. Now we're getting somewhere. $500,000 at 4% gives you $20,000 a year, about $1,667 a month. Add Social Security, $3,467 a month, about $41,600 a year. This is where retirement starts to feel like retirement. You can cover the essentials with room to breathe. You can handle a car repair without panic. You can visit the grandkids once a year without feeling guilty about it. The key at this level is sequence of returns risk, meaning if the market tanks in your first few years of retirement and you're still withdrawing, you can permanently damage your portfolio's ability to recover. The solution? Keep 1 to 2 years of expenses in cash or short-term bonds as a buffer. Don't sell stocks when they're down. Let the portfolio breathe. $500,000 also gives you options. You could delay Social Security to age 70, collect a bigger check later, roughly 24 to 32% more, and live off portfolio withdrawals in the meantime. That's a legitimate strategy that could add significant income over a long retirement. The verdict on $500,000? Comfortable if managed wisely. This is where smart decisions make a real difference. Now at $750,000. This is the sweet spot that doesn't get talked about enough. 4% of $750,000 is $30,000 a year, $2,500 a month from your portfolio. Add Social Security, $4,300 a month, over $51,000 a year. Now you have genuine flexibility. You can afford healthcare costs without panic. You can take a real vacation. You can help a family member occasionally without derailing your plan. You have enough buffer that a bad year in the market doesn't feel like an existential crisis. At this level, asset allocation becomes your superpower. A properly diversified portfolio, mix of stocks, bonds, maybe some dividend-paying assets, can generate income and growth, meaning your portfolio could actually grow over time even as you're drawing from it. You also have enough that Roth conversion strategies start making serious sense. If you have a mix of traditional and Roth accounts, a good financial advisor or even a solid tax software can help you map out withdrawals that minimize your lifetime tax bill. The verdict on $750,000? Secure and sustainable. This is where retirement stops being about surviving and starts being about living. Now let's look at $1 million. The $1 million mark feels like a finish line, but let's look at what it actually buys you. 4% of $1 million is $40,000 a year, $3,333 a month from your portfolio. Add Social Security, $5,133 a month, over $61,500 a year. At this level, a single retiree can live comfortably in most U.S. cities, not just low cost of living ones. You can afford supplemental health insurance, some travel, and still leave a legacy for family or charity. Here's the interesting thing about $1 million. The upgrade in lifestyle from $750,000 to $1 million is not smaller than you might expect. What you're really buying is margin and flexibility, a longer runway, more options if something goes sideways, a health crisis, a major home repair, helping a family member. At $1 million, you could even consider a slightly more conservative 3.5% withdrawal rate, which gives your portfolio an even better chance of lasting 35 to 40 years if you retire in your early 60s. The verdict on $1 million? Excellent position. You're not worried about the basics. You're making choices, not compromises. Okay, so what's the through line across all four scenarios? First, Social Security is not a bonus, it's a cornerstone. In every single scenario we ran, Social Security more than doubled the monthly income from the portfolio. Protect it, understand it, and think carefully about when to claim it. Second, location is leverage. The difference between retiring in San Francisco and retiring in Knoxville, Tennessee on the same money is not marginal, it's transformational. Cost of living can make a $500,000 retirement feel like a $750,000 one. Third, healthcare is the wild card nobody prices in. According to Fidelity, a single 65-year-old will spend an estimated $157,000 on healthcare in retirement. That number needs to be in your plan, not an afterthought. Fourth, time is the most underrated asset. Every additional year you work and save, especially in your early 60s, isn't just adding money, it's adding compound growth, reducing the years your money needs to cover and often increasing your Social Security benefit. Even 2 to 3 more years can shift you from one category to the next. Here's the bottom line. There is no magic number that works for everyone. But there is a magic formula, and it's knowing your expenses, understanding your income sources, and building a withdrawal strategy that's actually built around your life. Whether you're sitting on $250K worried it's not enough, or pushing toward $1 million wondering if you should keep going, the answer is always the same. Clarity beats anxiety. If this video helped you think through your own numbers, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach people who need this information. And if you want me to go deeper on any of these scenarios, Roth conversions, Social Security timing, the best states to retire in, let me know in the comments. See you in the next one.